Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book. Whoa, whoa. He has a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, Jason Dedeker, how are you doing today?
Doing today.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Man.
We're doing well. I'm doing pretty well. This is my first week back at my visual effects job. I've been away for a month and a half or so.
Back to being a working stiff.
Yeah, back to being a working stiff. But the good news is that I just got this brand new pair of dress shoes that I sent both of you a picture of when I got them because I was
very beautiful.
so stoked about them. So I'm like,
yeah, for those of you who
fancy
don't
work
know,
boy.
Jace basically found his soulmate of shoes. He's very much a shoe-oriented person in his sexuality and dating preferences.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Like the way that people swipe left or right through other people, I do with shoes. Yeah. No, not really. That's probably an inaccurate description of me, but these shoes were my soulmates though. Like it was love at first sight. I saw them
Soulmate.
at a store. I wasn't, and here it's just like in real life. I wasn't looking for them. I was looking for a different kind of shoe when I saw these, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then,
No,
They're
hang
the
on.
one.
But what if it was like a shoe rom-com where it's like actually you hated the shoes at first and the shoes hated you, but you had to work together on a work project and there was all this tension, like this creative tension and also sexual tension, and then till finally you and the shoes
You and the
realized,
shoe became one.
yeah, that you could love each other, and then rom-com.
No, that is what happened though, because like long ago, I was like, you know what makes sense for me is slip-on shoes, because I go to Japan a lot. You gotta take your shoes on and off. And then I was just like, I hate slip-on shoes. They all look awful. And I bought some and I was like, I hate these. And then they started falling apart. And I was like, slip-on shoes are the worst. They never look good. And then I was at this store looking for something totally different. And suddenly I turn around and there's this old lover that I hated called slip-on shoes. I was like, these ones look amazing because they're like beautiful, slim wingtips. They're like Italian crafted with an actual like Goodyear welt sole. Like
There
all
was
of
like that typical shot of like some slinky saxophone underneath it as you finally fully checked out the line of the shoes.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm sorry. Is this a podcast about shoes?
I was going to say,
Or is
speaking
this
of
a
shoes,
podcast about God?
we
This
should
is
actually
drunk
talk about
shoe
the Bible.
study.
I think this is getting into idol worship a little bit, or maybe some coveting, perhaps. And we're in the thick of the Ten Commandments, and so you should know that's no bueno.
Yeah. Speaking of idol worship, Emily, do you remember what happened last time?
Actually, idol worship, believe it or not, yes, in the form of a golden calf. Not a calf that's on your leg, but a calf that was birthed by a cow,
Yeah.
and it was golden.
But it was actually birthed by the fire. Remember, Aaron was
Yes.
like, "I threw the golden in the fire, and out popped this golden calf."
Yeah, Aaron made
do you
everyone
know?
take off their gold earrings, and then he threw those earrings into the fire, and then out sprang a golden calf. And then Moses, who told God, like, please don't kill all the people down below. We just, like, followed you out of Israel, or out of Egypt into Israel.
Well, we are
something.
Israel. Israel isn't a thing that
Sorry,
exists
I don't
yet.
know, out of Egypt into this place that they are. And then God was like, okay, fine, Moses. But then Moses came down the mountain and then threw the Ten Commandments onto the ground
Yeah.
and
He's like,
broke
I
them
threw it on
because
the
he was so
ground."
angry.
Yeah.
And what happened to the people who had worshipped the calf?
They fell into a chasm? Or did that just happen in the movie?
That's the same thing that happened to me. Yes, that was the Ten Commandments, the film with Charlton Heston. That was not what actually happened in the text. What happened in the text is much darker. Well, Moses was like, whoever's on God's side, come hang out with me. And it was all the Levites. And then he was like, great, kill all the rest of these mofos. And they did.
Dang.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it was real dark.
Yeah. So to get through this horrific time in the Bible, what are we drinking?
I'm drinking a espresso stout made by Hitachi no Nest, which
Ooh.
is a Japanese craft beer. One of my
Yes.
favorites. It's the one that has the cute little
The cute
adorable owls.
owl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I found that Hitachi no has like a microbrewery in Akihabara in Tokyo. So I just went there.
Apparently,
and it was
like
great.
the water in Japan is like so good that it's supposed to like taste better than other beers because
Well,
of how
I
they make
found
it?
that being in Japan, basically Japanese people say that the water is the reason like all of Japan is just better than the rest of the world, especially the
I
food and
see.
the drink. Like
yeah.
that's what they say is it's the most popular reason is the food's so good and the beer's so good and the sake is so good, yada yada yada, because the water's good.
It's
Which
funny.
maybe it's true. I don't know.
It's exactly the same thing with like New York pizza. They're like, it's because of the water. And like Seattle coffee, it's like, oh, it's because of the water.
Wait, hang on. How is New York pizza good because of the water? Isn't New York
That's
water
what
really
they-
crappy?
No,
No.
it's not. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You can drink it right from the tap and it's
Wow.
phenomenal.
Unless you're in a
Amazing. I didn't
building
know.
with old
So
pipes
much
like
better
the
than
one that I
LA.
was in, and then you can't drink it straight out of the tap. But
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
anything about that.
Well, are you drinking
yeah.
some phenomenal water, the twos of you?
I'm drinking some great water that's named whiskey. It's sort of
Whiskey.
Some
a type
fire
of
water.
a type of water. Yeah, fire water. Yes. I'm just drinking some bullet bourbon today. Kind of an old standby for me.
Yeah, and I am drinking a Primitivo, which is an Italian wine. This is an organic one, and I love it. It's really good. Italians really, really know how to make their wine. It must be because of the grapes and the water.
It must be the organic water that they have.
Yeah, totally,
Italians also
totally.
made my shoes that I bought.
And we've come
There you go.
full circle.
There it is. There it is.
Yes.
Here we are.
All right, here
So-
we go. So today we are reading Exodus 33, 34, and 35. And we want to
We're
remind
getting there, man.
we-
getting there.
Yes. We want to remind all of you to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
And you can drink responsibly along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, let's do this thing.
Okay, here we go. Exodus 33. Yahweh spoke to Moses, "Depart, go up from here, you and the people that you've brought up out of the land of Egypt, to the land which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, I will give it to your seed. I will send an angel before you." Gosh, Jace, come on. Okay. I will
No, but it
send-
is funny.
Emily
No, it
laughed
is
too.
funny that they call like these boys his seed.
I'm gonna start
just-
using that in my normal life. Like,
Yeah,
You should.
there's
With
your
my-
seed.
with my
Like you
niece and
see a
nephew.
man,
yeah, I'll talk to my
exactly.
sister and be like, "How's your seed
Yeah.
doing?
They'll be like,
Is your seed doing well?"
Yeah.
I will send an angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, to a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go up in the midst of you, for you are a stiff-necked people, lest
Oh.
I consume you in the way. That's really funny. He's like, okay, I'm going to outsource this. I'm going to send you an angel because I am not going to get up all in you because I cannot stand to be around you for more than 20 minutes. I will
Wow.
consume you in the way.
I think God's still upset from before.
Yo,
right?
definitely.
I get that. Understandably.
God's like, I need some space. I'm sending my angels instead because if I'm around you, I'm just going to get angry and consume you in
They're going to be
fire.
the go-between.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's good. Thank you, God, for taking care of yourself so
Yeah.
that you don't lash out and hurt someone else.
Yeah.
Great.
And we,
God
and we
halted.
remember
Good
this,
skills.
this stiff-necked expression, right?
Yes, of
From
course.
last time.
How can
No,
we
what is
forget?
it? What is it?
It means stubborn.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
okay.
When the people heard this evil news, they mourned, and no one put on his jewelry.
Like God's jewelry or just like their own jewelry?
jewelry?
I think
They
they didn't put on their own
mourned.
jewelry.
Wait, what's the evil part of it? Is the evil part of it that Yahweh's not going to be up in the midst of them? Is it that it's like you're going to go into these lands that other people are occupying and there's going to be some conflict because you got to drive these people out? Like, I'm confused which part is the evil news.
Yeah, it all seems like pretty good news for them overall. Yeah.
ultimately. Well, either way, it's just not a jewelry kind of day.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They're
No.
like, God's not going to come down and see my sweet jewelry. I'm not even going to put it on. What a waste of jewelry.
No.
Yeah, I'm not impressing anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. If I can't give God jewelry face, what can I do? Okay. Yahweh said to Moses, "Tell the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. If I were to go up into your midst for one moment, I would consume you. Therefore
Whoa.
now, take off your jewelry from you, that I may know what to do to you." What does that mean?
Okay.
This
Okay.
is, okay, hang on. At first, I thought that Yahweh was like being really responsible with his anger and being like, I need some space and need some time away. But now he's using Moses as the go-between, kind of like
That
Yeah.
sounds about right.
when you're
That's pretty
caught
in
between
line
two
with like
people.
how he's been in general.
But the take off your jewelry that I may know what to do to you. Now that's a mystery
Whoa.
if I've ever heard one.
Whoa.
If I may, if we're reading this in order here, God's like, I'm not going to be all up in you. I'm going to send my angels and do this stuff. And the people were like, this is terrible news. Like, God's not around. We're not going to wear our jewelry. And then God's like, and don't wear your jewelry because I don't want you to. And I also would consume you. You're bad. But like, I think it's, at least here, it seems a
Okay.
little bit reactionary. Like, God's like, yeah,
Okay.
don't wear your jewelry. I told you to. Don't. I don't want you to.
I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I'd buy that.
All right. Okay.
The children of Israel stripped themselves of their jewelry from Mount Horeb onward. Now, Moses used to take the tent and pitch it outside the camp. We're back to tent pitching.
Yes.
It's been a long
Mhm.
time.
Can we drink to
Hey.
tent pitching coming
Yes,
back?
of
Yes,
course we
that's
can
a good
drink
one.
to tent pitching.
Toads.
Oh yeah, this is good. We're back to the drinking part of this Bible.
All right. So he'd pitch it outside the camp, far away from the camp, and he called it the tent of meeting. It happened that everyone who sought Yahweh went out to the tent of meeting, which was outside the camp. It happened that when Moses went out to the tent, that all the people rose up and stood, everyone at their tent door, and watched Moses until he had gone into the tent.
It just happened
That's-
that way. Okay.
It just happened, yeah. Coincidence. It happened when Moses entered into the tent that the pillar of cloud descended, stood at the door of the tent, and
Wait.
spoke with Moses.
How can a cloud stand?
Well, it's a pillar
What else
of
are you gonna
cloud,
say? It's a
right?
pillar. A pillar stands, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the way a tree stands. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how it speaks to Moses. That's a good question, but yeah.
I think this
It
is
has
the presence
before.
of God.
Or
Okay,
is it one of
cool.
the angels? Because the angels have been pillars before.
I guess
Like
we'll
Keep
the-
find
reading
out.
and we'll find out.
Okay,
Yes.
all
Okay.
right.
All the people saw the pillar of cloud stand at the door of the tent, and all the people rose up and worshipped, everyone at their tent door. Yahweh spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. Oh, I'm getting real close
That's
here.
right.
They have such a
Yeah.
good bond, the two of them.
Yeah.
They do.
He turned again into the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun,
Noon?
N-U-N, son of Nun, a young man, didn't depart out of the tent.
Wait,
Joshua.
what? The son of Nunya. Nunya
Yeah,
business.
Joshua.
A young
yes.
man didn't depart out of the tent. Okay.
Like the tent of meeting? Okay. Moses said to Yahweh, "Behold, you tell me, bring up this people, and you haven't let me know whom you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my sight. Now therefore, if I have found favor in your sight, please show me now your ways, that I may know you, so that I may find favor in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people." Oh, what exactly is Moses asking for here?
yeah.
Wait, is it Moses or is it God who's
No,
saying
Moses
this?
is saying this to Yahweh.
Okay.
He's saying, like, I think Moses is a little out of sorts here. I feel like Moses is trying to be like, I need some help. Like, you got to
He
give
had an
me something more
intense night,
concrete
man.
here. It's very intense week from the sound of it.
Yeah.
Okay, he said, which I think Yahweh said, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." He said to him, I think Moses to Yahweh,
Yes, it's confusing.
They really could have made this a little bit more clear.
"If your presence doesn't go with me, don't carry us up from here. For how would people know that I have found favor in your sight, I and your people? Isn't it that you go with us so that we are separated, I and your people, from all the people who are on the surface of the earth?"
I
Oh,
see.
So Moses is like, you need to be here with us so that other people know that, like, we have Yahweh on our side
Yeah.
and we're special people.
He's like, I know God,
And
you
everyone
said
else
you
doesn't matter.
needed, Yeah, he's like, you needed your space, but like it doesn't look good
Too
to
bad.
everyone else. So like we
It's
kinda...
like I mean, Yahweh, I feel like it's time we make this Facebook official or at least Instagram official. Like I need some social proof here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No one believes that we're actually together if you refuse to
Oh, I
be
see.
a part of
You
my
got to
social
make it
media.
Facebook a fish.
Yes, I think that's what's
Right.
going on.
Because if we're
Okay.
gonna run in and like take over people's lands and conquer them, if they don't see I'm with you, then we're the bad guys.
That's
And
true.
we can't Be
Or
the
they
bad guys.
they don't, they severely underestimate us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yahweh said to Moses, I will do this thing also that you have spoken, for you have found favor in my sight, and I know you by name. He said, I think Moses said, please show me your glory. He said, I'm pretty sure
I will
Yahweh
show you
said,
mine if you show
Wow.
me yours.
I will make all my goodness pass before you and will proclaim the name of Yahweh before you. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
It's like the
Okay.
most non-committal
That's-
answer.
It really
I know.
is.
What really sound logic here, God.
It's like Moses is trying to get Yahweh into a committed relationship, and Yahweh's like, well, I mean, like, we can be together, like, it's fine, but I mean, like, we can be together. I don't know if that means, like, together, but it's like, we can be together, like, we can be, like, next to each other, like, that's fine, like, yeah, no, that's fine, like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Moses
okay.
is like, okay, but we're together, right? And he's like, well,
We're together, but, like,
I'm together with the people I'm together with, and I'm not together with the people I'm not together with. So
oh my gosh,
Wow.
Yahweh. Okay. He said, I'm pretty sure still Yahweh speaking,
yep.
you cannot see my face, for man may not see me and live.
Whoa.
Yahweh also said, behold, there is a place by me, and you shall stand on the rock. It will happen while my glory passes by, that I will put you in a cleft of the rock, and will cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take away my hand, and you will see my back, but my face shall not be seen.
So wait a
Whoa,
minute.
that
Not
got
even.
super
Not
epic.
even. Yeah. Moses can't even see God's face, or else he'll be disintegrated, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I think
Something
so.
like that. Yeah.
I like this like giant hand coming out and like covering Moses
Just
and
like
being like,
crams
no.
him into this nook and cranny in the rock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm picturing
really
God as
funny.
like this glowing golden, sun
Boy.
energy, like glowing fiery thing, and like this Titan walking by in the valley and like puts his hand out and covers Moses and walks by and then does his walk away, and Moses is like, I hate to see you go, but I
Whoa.
love to watch you leave, or something like that.
oh my goodness.
Wow.
All right. Well, that was the end of that chapter.
Yeah,
Mm.
gosh. Okay. This is
Kind of a lot of build up.
Yeah.
I like this. Okay, here we go. We're continuing on with Exodus 34. Yahweh said to Moses, chisel 2 stone tablets like the first, and I will write on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets which you broke.
Wait, seriously? Legit? Which you
Let's not-
broke.
Let's not
Dick.
forget what happened, okay? I'm willing to rectify this, but like, you cannot forget that this is your fault, okay?
I just
is your
gave you
fault.
those, and you broke them. Yeah.
Ah,
Wow, this is why we're not actually together.
Yeah.
ah.
Be ready by the morning, and come up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and present yourself there to me on the top of the mountain. No one shall come up with you, neither let anyone be seen throughout all the mountain, neither let flocks nor herds feed before the mountain. He chiseled 2 tablets of stone like the first, and Moses rose up early in the morning and went up to Mount Sinai as Yahweh had commanded him, and took in his hand 2 stone tablets.
In one hand? Dang.
Moses had big grip,
Yeah.
He had big paws.
Yeah.
very big paws, exactly.
Yahweh descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of Yahweh.
So Yahweh was like, "Hey," he comes down like this cloud flows down. It's just like, "Oh, this is
This
this is Yahweh." If you
Yeah.
didn't know,
Yahweh.
this is Yahweh.
Yeah. Yahweh passed by before him and proclaimed, Yahweh, Yahweh, a merciful and gracious God, slow to anger, and abundant
Yeah, call bullshit on you, Yahweh, right there. But
Slow
sure,
to anger.
whatevs.
and abundant in loving kindness and truth.
What is the why loving kindness?
as a one thing together.
I think it's a translation thing. It's probably a word that means loving kindness.
Means not just love, not just kindness, but both
Love
of
and
them
kindness.
together.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Keeping loving kindness for thousands, forgiving iniquity and disobedience and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, and on the children's children, on the third and on the fourth generation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get too
Dang.
serious with this, but yeah, Yahweh just reminds me of an abusive boyfriend, honestly. Like, he wants to be like, I'm really cool. I'm really great. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you make me mad, I'm not
I
responsible
will
for what
kill you.
happens. But, like,
Yeah.
I'm great, right? I'm compassionate. I'm kind. Like, you know that.
And also all of your family and all of the family to come.
Where he's
Yeah.
literally like, oh yeah, I'm slow to anger. I forgive sin, but...
That doesn't mean
But-
you're
Not-
not guilty, is what he said.
Yeah,
That's literally what he
exactly.
said. He said, forgiving iniquity and disobedience and sin. And that will by no means clear the guilty. Like,
Yeah.
that's...
It's like there's... Okay, maybe abusive boyfriend is too harsh. Maybe it's an identity crisis of... This is the thing, is Yahweh knows, he's like, okay,
these things.
I don't want anyone to worship any other gods, so it's got to be monotheistic, right? But like in the past, if you have a polytheistic culture, it's like you can have the one God that's very loving and kind and compassionate all the time, and you can have the one God who's more of like the righteous anger judgment God, and you can have the one God who is like going to provide for all the people. But now that Yahweh has to take on all those things, he's like,
Wow.
I somehow have to check all these boxes.
So
Wow,
you're saying
this is yeah.
God
yeah,
is
I
you
think
know
I
what
know
I'm
what you're
saying.
saying.
God is a single parent who's trying to figure out how to
Oh.
play all the roles.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's pretty good.
That's not where I thought you were headed, Jace, but whoa.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Let's see. The third and fourth generation. Yes. Moses hurried and bowed his head toward the earth and worshipped. He said, "If I have now found favor in your sight, Lord, please let the Lord go in the midst of us. Although this is a stiff-necked people, pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for your inheritance." He said, I'm assuming Yahweh, "Behold, I make a covenant. Before all your people I will do marvels, such as have not been worked in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among which you are shall see the work of Yahweh. For it is an awesome thing that I do with you."
Okay. Come on, man. Like, you've made it rain frogs and blood and firstborn people dying and all this. Like, give it to
Yeah.
me.
Okay. "Observe that which I command you this day. Behold, I drive out before you the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Be careful, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going, lest it be for a snare in the midst of you."
Oh, so he's even like no diplomacy. This is a
Yeah.
no diplomacy run.
Yeah.
Like only
Dang.
destruction and invasion and
Murder.
Yes.
Yes. "But you shall break down their altars and dash in pieces their pillars, and you shall cut down their Asherim." Oh dear.
I'm gonna look that up. Keep going.
Okay, look
Keep
it up.
going.
"Cut down their Asherim. For you shall worship no other God, for Yahweh, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God."
Wait a minute. Yahweh's name is also jealous.
I think it's like jealousy is my middle name, I think is kind of what he's...
Oh, I see. I see how this is.
Asherim were, according to Wikipedia, cult objects related to the worship of the fertility goddess Asherah, who was the consort of either Baal, who we will see show up later on.
Right.
And wait,
This is really awkward and not very becoming
wait.
of God, quite
Hold on.
frankly.
Hmm.
What?
hold the phone.
Okay.
What are you telling me, Wikipedia?
What is Wikipedia telling you?
I mean,
Okay.
or should we save this?
Okay, yes, cult objects related to the worship of the fertility goddess Asherah, who is the consort of either Baal or, as inscriptions from the Kuntalet Arjud and the Kerbet El Kom attest, or the consort of Yahweh,
Eh,
and thus objects of contention among competing cults. Wow,
wow, that's
that's interesting.
Okay.
That brings up a lot of questions.
Yeah, we might have to dig into that more in some bonus content at some point.
Except that later on, like in Deuteronomy, it states that Yahweh hated the Asherim. Maybe they had
So
like a
it's
bad
an
breakup or
X,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, oh my God, it was an X.
Yep.
This whole story is just coming out.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
makes a lot of sense to me. He does say that he's a jealous god.
Yeah, he really is the bad boyfriend and the single parent and all these other
So
things.
a lot of things, yeah. Okay, so continuing on, don't make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, lest they play the prostitute after their gods, and
Whoa.
sacrifice to their gods, and one call you, and you eat of his sacrifice. And you take of their daughters to your sons, and their daughters play the prostitute after their gods, and make your sons play
God.
the prostitute after their gods.
So, okay, is playing the prostitute, does that mean like you're promiscuous in your worship? Like you're hopping around amongst a bunch of different gods? I think that's what it
Interesting.
means. Can we look up what the message says about playing the prostitute?
I love how like we just consult the Message Bible as like
I mean, many other
this'll
Bibles, but the
be-
message is always the one that is the most interesting to me.
Right.
It's pretty funny at the very least.
Well, I do like that one has definitely like put a lot of work into making it legible and understandable. and-
Exactly.
Sure. This is just so interesting. Gosh, like it really is telling people. I mean, I when I think of like missionary work, it is
Uh-huh.
really like telling people like, hey, this is the only type of God that is allowed to be worshipped. And even all these people out there that don't love me and don't worship me, like kill their, idols and
Yeah, it's
do
a
bad
zero,
things to them.
Yeah, it's a zero tolerance policy for like
Yeah.
any religion other than this one.
That's
Yeah.
yikes.
All right, let me give you the
Wow.
Message Bible here. It says,
All right.
there's sort of a ... leading up to this one, is marry your sons to their women who take up with any convenient god or goddess, and will get your sons to do the same thing.
Any convenient
That's a much like
one.
gentler way of putting that.
But I like that another translation that comes up a bunch in like the New Standard Bible and the American Standard Version and other things is saying that they might play the harlot with their gods and cause your sons
Ooh.
also to play the harlot with their gods.
Mm,
I do
Wow.
like that one.
wow,
It's sort of-
amazing.
Yeah. The New Living Translation says they will seduce your sons to commit adultery against me by worshiping other gods.
Jeez.
All right, before we go on to the next chapter of the Bible, we want to take a quick moment to talk about how this show gets made and how you can help ensure that this show keeps getting made. And the best way to do that is to become one of our supporters on Patreon. So on our Patreon, which is at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy, we have several tiers where you can help support this show as well as getting a bunch of cool benefits. So the first is that even for just $1 a month, you can become a member of our Patreon, and that helps us to keep this show going, as well as getting you access to being able to comment on the Patreon page, as well as read comments that we make or that other members make. At $6 a month, you can be a parishioner, which lets you get access to our bonus episodes, which we record basically every week to go along with the episode. Sometimes
They're very fun.
Yeah, they're super fun to do. Sometimes these are like more in-depth analysis or research on something, or sometimes it's an interview with an expert. Sometimes it's just watching movies or musicals based on the Bible together and joking about them or commenting on them. And then at $12 a month, you can become a disciple. And with that, in addition to becoming part of the community, getting all the bonus episodes and anything else that we put out, you also get ad-free episodes, and they come out 2 days early. So you get to be cooler than all of your friends because you already know those Bible chapters 2 days before them. So then when you listen together with them, you can be like, I knew that.
I knew that, obviously. Duh. No question.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So in addition to this, we're also really trying to reach our goal of getting 300 patrons. So this is a very exciting goal because once we reach it, we can start releasing 2 Bible studies a week instead of 1. And that's amazing. I mean, it means that you and we do not need to wait as long between episodes. We don't have to wait as long to record multiple episodes. Y'all don't need to wait as long to get those multiple episodes. So it's a win-win-win, win-win for everyone.
Also, we would absolutely love to hear what you think of the show. So if you can take 2 minutes out of your day to go to iTunes or to Stitcher and leave us a review, we would love to hear from you. Is there a particular chapter that really moved you as you heard us drunkenly read it and make jokes about it?
Wow.
What's your background? Were you also raised atheist like Emily was, or were you raised in the church, in the Christian church like Jason and I were? Were you raised in a completely different religion? We want to know your thoughts. So again, go to iTunes or go to Stitcher and leave us a review. Let us know. So, like, is Yahweh like the bitter divorced husband who is cheated on, you think? Who also happens to be a single parent at the same time?
Just so many things happen to
Yeah,
Yahweh.
so many archetypes.
Yeah, I mean, God's trying to be a lot of things. I do think, though, it's interesting, though, that at least for me growing up Christian, and I imagine for you too, Dedeker, there always had to be this picture of God being this sort of benevolent father figure type character who's always good.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that what we keep getting in reading this is that, like, it's not like saying, oh, God's supposed to be this good thing and obviously he's not. It's like, no, I don't think he was ever intended to be this bastion of
This,
like
good,
goodness and
benevolent-
fatherly love, at least in the sense that we think of it in modern day.
At least not in the Old Testament.
Then what do you think he is exactly? He just is like this supreme being that can do whatever the hell he wants?
I mean, if you think about it, like you think about other mythologies, right? Like if you think about Norse mythology or Greek or Roman mythology, that like their gods, none of them were like pure good guys or bad guys.
Sure.
Right? Like
That's
Hades.
true. They're all very human.
Like Hades wasn't a bad guy. He was, he fell in love at one point and, felt shitty about his lot in life and, whatever. Like they're all very, very human, I guess.
Yeah.
For lack of a better
Yeah.
word. And I guess I get that from this. And I know we're kind of making fun of this situation here, but I do think it's interesting that just reading this, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think this idea of this father figure or like this king or ruler or whatever who's supposed to be a good guy isn't really in the text. It's more about like, this is just the reality of these people and who they believed their deity was. And they didn't worship him just because they thought he was nice, but just he was the one they had. He was the one who chose their people, and these were the things that he wanted, which was monogamy. Monogamy. I guess
Godgamy.
monotheism is the word we came up with for this.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
anyway,
right.
sorry. Philosophy. Okay. And right, make your sons play prostitute after their gods. You shall make no cast idols for yourself. I cannot be clear enough about this one. You've already screwed this up.
Well, this was Aaron specifically who did. I'm surprised they didn't kill Aaron.
I'm surprised too.
Well, but he
actually.
dodged responsibility, remember? He was like, just the fire calf popped out. What can I do?
Yeah,
And did God not know that he was a lying liar?
I mean, yeah. Whoever wrote this book knew.
Yes.
You're right. You're
Right, because
right.
remember they threw in that coda at the end of the last chapter where they're like, but actually it was Aaron who made it.
Right, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Fascinating. Interesting.
You shall keep the feast of unleavened bread. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread as I commanded you at the time appointed in the month Abib. For in the month Abib you came out of Egypt.
What's Abib? Which month?
It's that month.
It doesn't, the Jewish calendar doesn't exactly line up to our Gregorian 12-month calendar, so it's a
All
little
right.
hard to
Yeah.
That's
say.
fine.
But it's the
Yeah,
month where
that's
they
fine.
came out of Egypt. All that opens the womb is mine, and all your cattle that is male, the firstborn of cow and sheep. The firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you will not redeem it, then you shall break its neck.
Wow.
Jeez, what?
Gosh. Just freaking animal abuse all over the place here, man.
Yeah, gosh.
We did get this before, like the whole thing of like having to redeem certain animals with other animals and such. All the firstborn of your sons you shall redeem. No one shall appear before me empty.
What does this mean, redeem again?
You got to make a sacrifice.
Yeah. You got to kill something else to not have to kill that thing.
Is that it's kind of like a one in, one out policy on living in this tribe, it seems.
But God has some sort of clear orders about, what's worth enough to count for a certain thing. Yeah.
Yes.
And those were kind of explained earlier.
Yeah.
The specifics of it. 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest. In plowing time and in harvest you shall rest. So he's like, even during the busy times, you still have to rest on that 7th day. You shall observe the Feast of Weeks with the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the Feast of Harvest at the year's end. 3 times in the year, all your males shall appear before the Lord Yahweh, the God of Israel. For I will drive out nations before you and enlarge your borders. Neither shall any man desire your land when you go up to appear before Yahweh your God 3 times in the year. So like while you're doing this, no one's gonna like take over your shit.
Right. No one's gonna no one's gonna be opportunistic.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread. Ew. Neither.
Is he like gluten intolerant, you think? Is that why?
More like yeast intolerant.
Yeast intolerant? Yeah.
Allergy to yeast. Yeast is God's weakness. It's his kryptonite. That's what it is.
Unleavened.
Yeah.
That's why he's really into just like meat.
Yeah.
He's like only meat or leavened bread, nothing else. I mean unleavened bread.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
So shall not offer the blood of the sacrifice with leavened bread. Ew. Neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left to the morning. It's sort of a recap of earlier.
It is.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of recaps these days.
Well, that's a lot of this book,
Yeah.
quite frankly.
Oh gosh, I lost my place. Oh yeah. You shall bring the first of the first fruits of the ground to the house of Yahweh your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk.
That one again. Gotta reiterate that one for good measure.
Ugh.
Yahweh said to Moses...
this is what's going on. Yahweh, he's making the new tablets, and Yahweh's like, okay, I gotta go over this stuff again.
Right.
Stuff that you destroyed, because we didn't...
Because you broke it, Moses.
Because
do you remember when you broke it?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
And so now we need to sit here and take time to review it and write it down all over again a second time.
Hashtag thanks, Moses. Yahweh said to Moses, write you these words, for in accordance with these words I have made a covenant with you and with Israel. He was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights.
Again,
yeah. He neither ate bread nor drank water.
Only
he'd be totes dead.
Only beer.
God
Maybe he drank
him.
wine.
Oh yeah, you're right. He wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. It is funny too, because God was like, yeah, bring these tablets up. I'll write on them. And then here we are, like Moses is writing it again, like we predicted last time.
I feel like I'm having deja vu though. Like this whole thing just happened. Why is it happening again?
Yeah. It's like...
Because they messed up the first time.
Yeah.
Watch. Moses is going to throw these ones on the ground too.
Aaron's like, and then this golden frog hopped out. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Okay. He wrote down the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. It happened when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mountain, that Moses didn't know that the skin of his face shone by reason of his speaking with him.
Oh, so he has a shiny face? He's like glowing?
He's glowing, I think.
Shown by reason of his speaking with him. So like it's shining because he spoke to Yahweh?
Yeah. He's got a shiny face.
Yeah. When Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him.
Shiny face.
Yeah.
Like, Moses, do you want some blotting papers?
Yeah, seriously, man. Like, you got to wash your face. I know you've been up there forever, but
yeah. Not eating or drinking the whole time.
Yeah.
Moses called to them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned to him, and Moses spoke to them. Okay, that was sort of anticlimactic. He called
Yeah.
to them and then they came back. Okay.
They're
Afterward,
like, hey.
all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them all of the commandments that Yahweh had spoken with him on Mount Sinai.
He's like, all right, this is going to sound really familiar, but protocol,
do
I
this
have
again,
to go
guys.
through it again. I know y'all know the drill, but we got to go through it.
Yeah.
Sit tight.
When Moses was done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face because it was still glowing, I guess.
He was like, whoa,
Yeah.
my face, I just saw it. It's really bad. I got to put a veil on.
But when Moses went in before Yahweh to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. He's in the tent, I guess.
What?
In the tent of
Oh.
meeting. And he came out
Okay.
and spoke to the children of Israel that which he was commanded. The children of Israel saw Moses' face, that the skin of Moses' face shone. And Moses put the veil on his face again until he went in to speak with him.
Wait, so does Moses have a permanently shiny face now where he has to cover it up each time?
It's like a glow-in-the-dark face that charges up when he talks to Yahweh. And Yahweh is the light that charges up his face, and then it glows.
I see. Oh, man. Wow.
Oh my
and then
goodness.
that is so strange.
Yeah.
So, okay, I
So
do remember
very
this
strange.
story. It jogged my memory reading this. I do remember learning about this in elementary school
Did
about
you?
Moses' shiny face. But I thought that like it was a one-time thing, and now I'm worried like
he just
does he have
always
a
had
permanently shiny face
yeah.
now and he has
He
to like do the
might. I
veil
mean, I
thing
guess
each
we'll find
time?
out.
Like,
Right.
I never thought of it that way, but it's like maybe he's just got this upgraded, quote unquote, upgraded shiny face.
Which actually causes him great distress, and so he has to like
Which
cover it
scares
constantly.
everybody.
Oh, man.
Ah.
I don't know. Wow.
Oh my goodness. And that was the end of that chapter.
Yes, it was.
Well, Emily, you ready to take us home here?
Yes, let's do this. Exodus 35. Moses assembled all the congregation of the children of Israel and said to them, "These are the words which Yahweh has commanded, that you should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be a holy day for you, a Sabbath of solemn rest to Yahweh. Whoever does any work in it shall be put to death."
Gosh.
Yikes. Like, what if, like, a weed needed to be whacked or something?
No weed whacking. No
Okay.
weed whacking. How many
Wow.
times do we have to repeat this until you
I know.
understand?
Okay.
This is why Yahweh's
Right.
like, I gotta say this 6 times, is because Emily
Lay
comes
on
along
the
and is like, what
bed.
about the weeds?
Just, like, lay down, have a siesta all day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't
knock
even
it
look at the
up.
weeds. Just don't even.
Don't even.
Just
You will
freaking
die.
chill, is what God said.
Yeah, exactly. You shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations on the Sabbath day. What if they get cold?
Too bad.
Yeah.
No fires.
You
What did I
gotta
tell
light
you?
It, light it the
Put
day
on,
before.
put on another freaking sweater and don't touch the thermostat. He really is a divorced dad, I'm telling you.
Yeah, gosh, this is
Oh boy.
this is something,
Oh,
all
boy.
right.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's like, geez, okay, wow, gosh. Okay. Moses spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, "This is the thing which Yahweh commanded, saying, take from among you an
Wait.
offering to Yahweh."
Oh, I
What?
see. This is Moses quoting Yahweh. Okay, sorry. I was confused by everyone saying.
Are you confused? I mean, are you just constantly confused?
Basically,
Because this
yes.
happens constantly.
Yes, I am constantly
Okay.
confused about who's speaking when.
Yeah, especially when they're like, he said, and he said,
Yeah.
and he said, and he said. It's like, who he? Okay. Moses spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, "This is the thing which Yahweh commanded, saying, take from among you an offering to Yahweh. Whoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it. Yahweh's offering, gold, silver, brass, blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, goat's hair, ram skins dyed red, sea cow hides, no.
We've already
Acacia
been here.
wood.
I'm having
We've
deja
already
vu.
been
This
here
is,
with the sea cow hides. It is deja
This
vu.
entire episode is deja vu.
This is like Groundhog's Day. I feel
Yeah,
like
I know.
we're living the same Bible again.
I'm pretty sure that Moses is Bill Murray right now. And Moses is just like, I'm doing this again. We got to get through
Well,
this.
but
Like,
how are we going to make What's-Her-Face fall in love with us?
maybe Andy McDowell is
Andy
God.
McDowell. That's who it is. I would totally buy Andy McDowell as God. No wonder she looks so young and like beautiful all the time. She must be
She
God.
is
Okay,
one hell of
yeah.
a gorgeous woman. Okay. blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and ramskin's dye, red sea cow hides, acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil and for the sweet incense, onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate.
Okay.
What?
So they haven't
this
even made
literally
this yet.
making another breastplate.
No, they haven't made
Okay,
it yet
no.
because that all got
They haven't
smashed
made it yet.
before.
Did they still not make it? I
No,
thought it
they
got
can't.
made.
He cannot be repeating all those specific instructions. They can't. This has got to be a recap
Oh
where
my
he's
God,
like,
is this
just remember
happening?
that he can't. No, we can't. No,
No,
I'm in
I-
denial. We're not going to
Listen,
go through that again.
we are reading every single letter of the Bible, Dedeker. So it's happening whether you like it or not.
No, no.
All right, here
No.
we go.
I think it's going to be a recap. It won't be a complete word for word.
I still got a little ways to go in this
Yeah.
chapter, y'all.
You got a ways to go. It's going to be a thorough recap.
Let every wise-hearted man among you come and make all that Yahweh has commanded. The tent, its outer covering, its roof, its clasps, its boards, its bars, its pillars, and its sockets. The ark and its poles, the mercy seat, the veil of the screen, the table with its poles and all its vessels, and the show bread.
The show. I don't remember the
showbread.
showbread.
What's a show bread?
What is a showbread?
Like, and this is bread as in bread, like bread that we eat, the unleavened bread. It's for show.
Yeah, this reminds me of this area in Osaka where Dedeker and I would like to shop, where they had shops that sold to
they have that a lot in-
restaurants
Yeah,
that would have
like
all the
show apples.
the fake food that you would
Yes,
put
all
out
the
in the
fake food.
windows. Yeah. I'm trying to look up what the showbread is here because that's just weird.
Well, it's got to be the bread that you just set out on the altar to sacrifice to Yahweh, and it's like no one's going to eat it. It's there for show because it's a sacrifice.
Let me hit you up
Is
with
it?
some.
What is the message?
Let me hit you up with some options here. Some call it the holy bread. Some call it the bread of the presence.
Right.
Like
we heard about the
God's
bread of the
presents,
I
or like
believe.
little
Yeah.
presents that God wraps up and gives to you
No, like the presence
on
of
Christmas.
God.
Okay.
Yeah. I love this that a number of translations, like the older translations, such as the King James, call it the shew bread, spelled SHEW bread.
Oh, it's very
Shoe.
Shakespearean.
Sheer.
The shew bread. It's a really big shoe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to look up the message now just to be thorough here. And I've already missed it. The message, the bread of the presence. Okay.
All right. The lampstand also for the light, with its vessels, its lamps, and the oil for the light. And the altar of the incense, with its poles, the anointing oil, the sweet incense, the screen for the door at the door of the tent, the altar of burnt offering, with its grating of brass, its poles and all its vessels, the basin and its base. Here we go, guys.
Yeah, you're doing good.
hanging-
This is great.
The hangings of the court, because I feel like this is Moses, how he would say all this. Like, he's like, we're doing this again. And so I'm going to be very crisp and clean so that nobody.
I just need to remind you all of the instructions that we lost, and now I need to go back up there and write down all these instructions again so that you can
40
know
days
how to
and
make
40
them
nights.
and not be slaughtered by Yahweh instantaneously.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
coolios.
Yes. Also, I know that part of this was my fault because I threw them on the ground. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. The hangings of the court, its pillars, their sockets, and the screen for the gate of the court, the pins of the tent, the pins of the court, and their cords, the finely worked garments for ministering in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron, the priest,
Who made
that
a
little
golden calf.
asshole.
Yeah.
Yes. And the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office.
Jeez. Oh,
Wow.
man.
Okay. All the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses. They were like, guys, did you get, like, he was angry up there, okay? They came, everyone whose heart stirred him up, and everyone whom his spirit made willing, and brought Yahweh's offering for the work of the tent of meeting, for all of its service, and for the holy garments. They came, both men and women, as many as were willing-hearted, and brought brooches, earrings, signet rings, and armlets, like a like a little
Like a
arm
cool
cuff,
armband. Yeah.
armlet. All jewels of gold, obviously, because gold is just like the thing now. Even every man who offered an offering of gold to Yahweh. Everyone with whom was found blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, goat's hairs, ram skins dyed red, and sea cow hides brought them.
I just happened to find these ram skins dyed red that I had lying
And
around.
sea cow hides, because we're in a desert, but no problem. They're
Yeah.
all over. Everyone who did offer an offering of silver and brass brought Yahweh's offering, and everyone with whom was found acacia wood for any work of the service brought it. What?
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. The people brought stuff. I don't
Yeah,
even
that's
know.
the point. Is like people brought the
Okay.
stuff that Yahweh asked.
Cool.
Yeah.
All the women who were wise-hearted spun with their hands and brought that which they had spun, the blue, the purple, the scarlet, and the fine linen. And the women whose hearts stirred them up in wisdom spun the goat's hair. The rulers brought the onyx stones and the stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate, and the spice and the oil for the light, for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense.
Okay, wait, hang on. Now I'm getting a vision. This is like the montage, right, of building the
Oh,
temple.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. I
where
like
there's
that.
maybe a little bit of an eye of the tiger going on. Everyone's kind of going
Yeah.
through their stuff, trying to find like, oh, I know I have that old blue wash rag that I haven't
Sylvester
used in
Stallone
years.
is running and
Oh,
doing
gotta
stuff.
find these ram's hides. Gotta, spin this stuff together. Do this fine embroidery. Like, okay, it's
Man.
super
Yeah.
exciting.
It's like
montage
that, like,
sequence right
it's
now.
the eye of the Yahweh, and we're bringing our gold, and the blue, and the purple, and the scarlet.
Linen.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dang it.
Can-
There's no scarlet.
I'm sorry.
But there is scarlet. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Can I just ask this question, may I? I really missed that these things weren't actually made yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they just were talking about how to make them, but not actually also at the same time giving instructions while someone was doing it.
It was only the IKEA instructions.
Yeah.
So someone was just reading them out loud for a
Yep.
later date.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we are. Okay. Because in the Ten Commandments too, Aaron was wearing that stuff.
Was
Right?
he?
Oh,
Was he?
was
Oh no!
was he?
Oh
No,
no!
he
I
wasn't
watched.
yet.
I don't think he was. Was he not? I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that guy at the end whose face gets melted off. He was wearing Aaron's breastplate.
The breastplate stuff.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He was wearing it.
I
Yeah,
need to rewatch
I
that
didn't-
movie.
you got to
Yeah.
rewatch all of them. I rewatched all of them. I highly recommend it.
So something I was thinking about too is that so God gave these instructions before, all the very, very
Yeah.
specific instructions, and he said that I forget what his name was, but he was like so and so from the house so and so. I've blessed them with being good craftsmen, and they're going to be the ones who make all this stuff.
Well, guess what?
Okay.
Spoilers, they're going to show up again toward the end of this chapter, so we should keep reading.
Well, okay, that might answer my question, because my question was he wasn't a Levite as far as I remember. So did he get killed? But apparently not. If we're going to still talk
Who
about
he?
him. Keep
The
reading. We'll get
carpenter?
to it. Yeah, the one who's going to make the breastplate and stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. Am I at 27? 28?
You're at 29.
29? Alright. The children of Israel brought a free will offering to Yahweh, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring for all the work which Yahweh had commanded to be made by Moses. Moses said to the children of Israel, Behold, Yahweh is called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. He has filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to make skillful works, to work in gold, in silver, and brass, in cutting of stones for setting, and in carving of wood, to work in all kinds of skillful workmanship. He has put his heart that he may teach both he and Oholiab, the son of Asamach,
No,
in the
it's
tribe.
definitely not Asamach. I'm sorry. Take that again, please.
Ahas.
Just one letter at a time. One letter at a time. Hooked on phonics here. Ah.
Is.
Hey.
Is. Amach.
Ahisamach?
Yeah, what? Y'all, can y'all do it better? Come on.
Heck no. But
Well, thank you. When you guys are like, try it
I just
again.
didn't want you to call someone Asimac because it's definitely not what it says on the page.
Ahisamach. Ahisamach.
Yeah,
That's pretty
there you go.
close.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Of the tribe of Dan. I can say that. He has filled them with wisdom of the heart to work all manner of workmanship, of the engraver, of the skillful workman, and of the embroiderer, in blue, in purple, in scarlet, and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of those who do any workmanship, and of those who make skillful works.
Is that the end?
Yeah, that's the end.
Yes,
My goodness.
that just I don't even know. I don't even know.
But like, okay, here's my question from before. So
Okay.
so this Oholiab from the tribe of Dan, and what was the other guy? Bezalel of the tribe of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them were in the Levites, who were the ones who all came over to Moses' side and like killed a bunch of other people. So I was like, did these people get killed before? Much less like Emily's question of did Aaron, like, why didn't Aaron get killed for making the golden calf? So it just seems like a little weird. It's like, wait, hold on. Like, are we getting all these instructions and doing all this like after a bunch of people have died and we're all like mourning the deaths of our brothers and friends? Or what? Like, it just, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like we haven't really acknowledged that
I mean, they
happened.
gloss over so many deaths, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, like, I guess it's like not even a big thing that these people died.
Well, it's kind of, it's like, well, they deserved it. They worshipped the golden calf, so they got killed. They got
bye-bye.
retribution. So it's like, you can mourn in your own time, but we're not gonna spend too much time on giving time and space to that.
Yeah,
No.
I guess so.
I guess not.
Huh.
Wow. Well, that was something, all right. I can't wait to see what happens next. But I really hope it's less recap and a little more action.
I
to
hope
show.
so too.
Like that old
Yeah.
Elvis Presley song, you know? A little
A
less
little
recap.
recap, a little
A
more
little more
action.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad you all got that. Okay.
Oh, we got it. All right. All right.
Yeah.
See y'all next week.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including bonus episodes, new series, guest interviews, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Emily Matlack, Dedeker Winston, and me, Jace Lindgren. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the Book of Exodus is Our Story Begins by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.